Have you ever felt like your whole life was a long, hard journey, only to finally arrive and find a wall standing in your way? The Israelites knew that feeling. They weren't just walking through the desert. They were walking through pain, through years of fear, failure, and frustration. 40 years. 40 years in the wilderness, wandering, waiting, hoping. God had promised them a land, but between them and that promise stood a fortress, Jericho. A city so tightly shut that no one went in and no one came out, Joshua 6 verse 1. Imagine it, after everything they'd been through, after the Red Sea, the manna, the miracles, they're finally here and they're stuck again, staring at a wall too big to climb, too strong to break. Have you ever been there? Have you ever followed God faithfully and still found yourself blocked? By fear? By failure? By situations you just don't understand? That's where they were. Tired, confused, overwhelmed. But friend, hear this. God didn't bring them this far to leave them. He brought them to that wall to show them something greater. That He doesn't need ladders or weapons to bring down what's in your way. Sometimes God brings us face to face with the impossible, so we learn to trust Him completely. Jericho's walls weren't just made of stone, they were made of fear. But faith was about to speak. Be strong and courageous, God had told Joshua. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1 verse 9. What's the wall in your life? Is it fear of the future? A family crisis? A mountain of debt? Or just doubt? Don't give up. God doesn't need a way, He makes a way. Stay with us because what happens next will leave you in awe. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss Faith Uplifting message from Faith Alive. Imagine this. You've finally reached the wall that's blocking your breakthrough. You're standing in front of it, waiting for the command to fight. And then, God gives you this plan. March around the city. Not once, not twice, but every day for 6 days. And on the 7th day, do it 7 times. Then blow your trumpets and shout. Joshua 6 verses 3 to 5. No weapons, no battering rams, just obedience. Because sometimes God's ways don't make sense to us, they're not meant to. The people of Jericho must have laughed. What army marches in circles? But this wasn't just walking, this was faith in motion. Have you ever felt like what God told you to do didn't make sense? Maybe He told you to forgive someone who hurt you deeply, or to give when you barely had enough, to wait when all you wanted was to run. But God wasn't testing their strength, He was testing their trust. Would they obey even when it looked foolish? Would they walk even when it seemed pointless? Day after day, same routine. No cracks in the wall. No signs of progress. Just dust and faith. Friend, sometimes God works in silence. The wall won't always shake on day 1. But every step of obedience is a declaration. I trust you, God, even when I don't see results. What is God asking you to do that doesn't seem logical? Are you willing to trust Him anyway? Because when you obey without understanding, that's when miracles begin. Like, comment your thoughts and share this if you're walking in faith today. And don't forget to subscribe. What happens next will amaze you. 6 days had passed. 6 days of walking, waiting, watching. No cracks, no movement, just the same wall, still standing. But then came day 7. This time it was different. God had commanded, march around the city 7 times. Then when the priests blow their trumpets, let out a mighty shout. Joshua 6 verses 4 to 5. Can you imagine what they felt? Tired feet, doubting minds, hope flickering. But they kept going. Because victory doesn't always come in a flash. Sometimes it's built lap by lap, step by step. What if they had stopped at 6? What if they gave up just before the breakthrough? Friend, how often do we quit on day 6? When day 7 is right around the corner. Then it happened. The trumpet sounded, and the people shouted, not with fear but with faith. And just like that, God did what only God could do. The walls didn't fall because of strength. They fell because of obedience. Your breakthrough may not come when you expect it. But when it comes, it will be worth every quiet lap, every silent prayer, every tear you never spoke aloud. Are you on your 6th lap? Don't stop. Don't quit. Your 7th is coming. Like this video if you believe your wall will fall. Comment, I'm still walking. And be sure to share with someone who needs this reminder today. The ground still trembled under their feet. Dust filled the air. And where once stood mighty walls, now stood only rubble. God had done it. He had kept His promise. The impossible was now a memory. Jericho had fallen. But the story didn't end with the fall. Before the battle, Joshua gave one instruction. Take nothing for yourselves. All the silver, gold, and valuable things belong to the Lord. Joshua 6 verses 17 to 19. Victory is never just about the reward. It's about the reverence. Because sometimes what follows success is even more important than the success itself. Maybe you've come through a battle. Maybe you've seen your wall fall. Don't forget who brought you through. Don't rush past the miracle. Pause, reflect, worship. Because when God gives you victory, it's not just for you. It's to show His power, His goodness, and His glory to the world. Comment, God is faithful, if He's brought you through something. And if you're still waiting, hold on, He's not done yet. The city of Jericho was no more. But something greater stood in its place. Faith, obedience, legacy. What started with fear and silence ended in triumph and joy. Because one man, Joshua, chose to listen. And one nation, Israel, chose to obey. Jericho reminds us, it's not the sword that wins the battle. It's faith in God. It's not our strength that brings the walls down. It's our obedience to His word. Narrator, gentle and personal. Maybe you're facing your own Jericho. A wall so tall, so thick, it seems unshakable. Don't give up. God's timing is perfect. Your job is to trust and obey. Joshua 6 verse 27. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. Jericho is gone, but its lesson remains. God is faithful. His promises never fail. If this story moved your heart, comment, Amen, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Don't forget to subscribe to Faith Alive for more visual Bible stories that ignite your faith.